Boruto, episode 79, Reunion with Mitsuki. By far, the most shocking episode in the Boruto series thus far. And I am not lying to you. This episode was totally shocking. I was so blindsided by the outcome of this episode. I am in shock. I was actually shaking because this episode had me in my feelings. I was probably more shook up than Boruto was by the end of this episode. And shit, this episode was it was great. This was probably the most emotionally packed episode since the episode where Boruto learned of Naruto's kidnapping by Momoshiki and Kinshiki. And for me, that episode wasn't too emotional because I knew what was going to happen because I've seen the movie, I've read the manga, and we already knew what was going to happen. But this is filler. This was not in the manga. There's no movie adaptation of this arc. This is all brand new material, and nobody really knows what the outcome is going to be except for the writers and the people involved with Boruto. So this is just something that we all get to enjoy together as anime fans, as Boruto fans, something new that we get to just watch and enjoy together all at the same time as these episodes drop. I initially thought that this could be the last episode of the arc, or maybe the next episode, but from the outcome of today's episode, I know for a fact it's going to be another 3 to 5 episodes before this arc is over with. So let's get into what actually happened in the episode. So we started off right where we left off last time with Shikadai, Boruto, and Sarada facing off with Kyoko, however you say his name, and they're facing off pretty good. He has that monster thing with him, and the monster thing's giving Sarada a lot of troubles. And they ended up getting past. Boruto Gale palms it right through his chest and kills it. And they go 3 against 1 against the Kyoko guy. The Kyoko guy is the real deal. He has superhuman strength, and he is very, very strong. And he gives Boruto, Sarada, and Shikadai a very tough time. But out of nowhere, to save the day in heroic fashion, Choujin and Nojin show up, and they kind of give the Hidden Leaf team a edge against this Kyoko guy from the Hidden Cloud. The Hidden Stone. So it's 5-on-3, and basically the Team Ino Shikasho tell Boruto and Sarada to go ahead, and they get to Mitsuki. They'll take care of this guy. So Boruto and Sarada run along, and when they go on along, one of the monsters who they can travel through the earth and they can communicate, they go to Seke and they tell him there are 2 of the trackers that are headed our way. And Kyoko, they've gotten past Kyoko, and Seke couldn't believe that they got past Kyoko. So Seke has those monsters watch Mitsuki while Seke goes to ambush Boruto and Sarada before they can reach where Mitsuki is. So Boruto and Sarada are approaching the area where Mitsuki is, but Seke intercepts them. And Seke, he has Datara's jutsu. He can use the clay bombs, and he is very talented. He doesn't have the hand mouse or the chest mouth that we know of, but he can just form the clay with his hands. He's very talented with that, and he's able to create these these moving bombs that they look like bugs, they look like creatures, and they're just exploding everywhere. If you didn't watch the Naruto series, I hope everybody that's watching this has watched the Naruto series. If you haven't watched the Naruto series, watch it. Stop watching Boruto. Watch Naruto first. But that's a whole different story. Let's get back into the review. So we have this Seke guy just letting off the bombs, and he's giving Boruto and Sarada a very tough time. They can't get close to him. His jutsu is just too advanced for where the level of Boruto and Sarada is right now. Boruto summons Garga, but Garga doesn't want to help. Garga's kind of like Ash and Charizard in Pokemon, and Garga's not helping him. He says, "You're not going to tell me what to do," and Boruto's like, "You signed a contract with me," and he's like, "Well, I didn't sign anything that says I have to fight with you." And they're going on, and Boruto ends up trying to fight by himself. Garga ends up getting tired of watching Boruto get manhandled and says, "If you keep this up, you're going to get killed." Garga goes after Seke. Boruto, Sarada, and Garga go after Seke, and they get the upper hand. But right before Boruto lands the final blow, kunai comes through the air and knocks Boruto's kunai out. And up on the mountaintop, as we watch the camera go up the mountaintop, it's Mitsuki. And it was almost very, it was almost, it was so similar. It was almost exactly the same as the first time we see Sasuke in Naruto Shippuden. So this iconic moment, we have Mitsuki standing at the top of the mountain, and it's kind of a confusing moment because why would he stop Boruto from killing the guy who supposedly kidnapped him, as what Boruto and Sarada think. They think there's some ulterior motive for Mitsuki actually leaving. But we find out in a very sad way that Mitsuki has plans to actually go with these guys. Mitsuki has no plans of going back to the Hidden Leaf to Boruto and Sarada's surprise. He walks right past Boruto. He asks Seke if he's okay. And then what happens next, this is what totally shocked me. I mean, I was surprised he didn't acknowledge Boruto. But what happened next was, oh my gosh, it might have been more shocking than, I can't even think of anything more shocking. Mitsuki uses his snake lightning on Boruto and sends him flying into the mountain. Boruto he's shooken up, and I think he's more confused than anything. Sarada's just in awe, and Kyoko comes back, and Seke and Mitsuki, they basically make it clear that Mitsuki's going with them, and that's really how the episode ends. I'm not going to go into great detail what was said and the small details, but that's a pretty close review of everything that went down in the episode, everything major. I did not get into the Inoshika Shoshirio was pretty much easily defeated by the Kyoko guy, Kokuyo. I think that's how you say his name, Kokuyo. He manhandled Inoshika. They had to make a plan to get the hell out of there, and Inoshin ended up creating a flying ink bird, and they get off, and they just leave, and we don't know where they're going. If they're just resting up to come and help Boruto and Sarada, we don't know right now what happened, what's going on with them. They could be going back to the Leaf. They got their ass kicked. So them guys, they're out the picture for right now. Boruto and Sarada are just emotionally fucked up and totally confused about what the hell Mitsuki is doing. I have no idea what Mitsuki's doing either. I pray that Mitsuki has some reason that he's fooling these guys and he's going to break up what they have going on, hopefully. And one thing I do hope, if what I want to happen actually happens and Mitsuki's actually just going in as an inside man to destroy what these people have going on, I want to see Sage Mode. We got to see Mitsuki go into full Sage Mode and tear these fools up. I hope that's how it ends. I hope Boruto and Sarada don't end up having to capture Mitsuki and take him back to the Leaf, and then we find out he's under some genjutsu or something. I hope this is a plan for Mitsuki to save the day for a whole totally different village and just show what type of shinobi he is. Even though he kind of went against orders, I think that's a really cool development for Mitsuki, that he knew that he needed to go do something and he couldn't get Naruto and the rest involved, and he needed to do it himself. That's what I hope happens. We know he's going to end up back with the team unless the anime decides to go a different route than the manga, which would be cool. That would be really cool. That would make the anime so much more interesting. Because when you're watching an anime that has a manga that's not that far ahead, I mean, we're literally there's a year behind the manga right now, and it's getting to a point where we know what's going to happen. I mean, that's been the whole series damn near, except for the filler arcs. We know what's going to happen. So it kind of would be refreshing that if the series were to go a different route, but I highly doubt that. I'm about 99.999% sure that the manga and the anime will stay on the same route. Of course, the anime will take its little turns, but they'll end up going the same way. The anime, of course, will have its fillers, but at the end of the day, they'll both get to the same destination. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I give the episode an A+. The episode had my jaws dropped. My shit was on the table. literally, like, I could not believe the last 2 or 3 minutes of the episode, how that shit went. Drop a comment below. Let me know how it was. Of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And there'll be more videos. Next week I'll have one. I'm going to have some Dragon Ball videos coming up soon. This is your boy B Vision, and I am signing out. Peace.